Good evening, people. Once again, JayandLugproductions is here, and due to the recent spike in responses that we've gotten towards our Vanguard binder folder, we decided to do some deck builds, and this one is our Kagero deck build. For anyone who cares really about the Golden Paladins and the Narukami ones we have presently, they're basically the trial decks. They are exactly the same. We haven't altered them yet. We haven't got any new packs yet because we're so interested in building up the Kageros and Royal Paladins, and we know that once set 6 and 7, and even the following 8, there is not a zilch. So we are going to continue with the Kagero and Royal Paladin builds, and we will, once we're done with those, we will continue towards Golden and Narukami. But as for now, this is a Kagero deck build. This is the one Lug from the other half of JayandLugproductions is going to run this at a local tournament. We're not sure if we are going to make any small altercations to it because it's both of these, both this and the other Royal Paladin build that you should be able to find on our channel. They are both as good as we can get them at this point for our low amount of money. Alright, our starting Vanguard is Lizard Soldier Conroe, and simple for the fact is he's great. I mean, he has two abilities. Number one, as a starting Vanguard, when you ride him, he can go to your rear guard, and then you can drop him in exchange for getting rid of a 0 grade, and that's perfect for other opponents who do the same exact thing. It's great for defending against Bark Goal and a bunch of those other, brittle ones like Blessed Owl or whatever you call it for the Oracle Think Tanks. You guys know exactly what this card can do. It's really strong. It's great to have for your starting Vanguard. Presently right now we run 3 Gatling Claw Dragons, and we are interested in running a 4th actually. That reason being is because it's for the Blazing Flare Dragon?
Yeah.
Blazing Flare Dragon, that it makes this deck really great. We run one Monica to break out. This deck has even triggers, so you don't see no more than the other. So this is our 4th draw trigger, which is Dragon Dancer Monica. We have 4 critical triggers. One is Dragonic Dragon Mage, and the other is actually just one that we got in a random pack. It is, Blue Ray Draco Kid. He just looks cooler, and we're kind of getting tired of running the same exact critical, stand triggers all the time. We ran 2 different ones of stand triggers. This first one is a Lizard Soldier Ganju, and the other 2 are Lizard Runner Nulbs. Now we have 4 of the same exact kill triggers because every deck has to have kill triggers. Dragon Genjo, which I think is almost everyone's beginner choice for good kill triggers. Okay, this is our only perfect shield. We only have 1 of these. These are great, and we would like more of these if you can. Our perfect shield is Wyvern Guard Bari. Sexy, isn't it? Next up we have the grade 1. What is this? This is a rare, right? Yeah, it is. Dragonic Dragon Mage Kiminaro. We run 2 of Dragon Mage Gojo, simply because it gives you draw power. I mean, dropping 1 for a card you don't need, it's exactly what you need. Okay, follower Rias. The whole reason I think that this one is in here for Chainkeeper Sutherland, to give him that extra boost, especially when he is a rear guard. We have 2 Iron Tail Dragons, and I suggest that he should add a couple more. This sort of thing, because Blazing Flare Dragon is one of the main things of this deck. It'll be good and easier to get him out, especially to build that soul with these kind of cards in the deck. 3 Embodiment of Armor Bar, because just Bar is strong. He's great boost. You cannot beat Bar when it comes to boost. And these are basically deck fillers. I mean, hardly ever use these. I mean, it's just to really draw, and I mean, it's good to use them if you know how to, but if not, they're fillers. Next up we have 2 Wyvern Strike Jarans. These are just really for power, just to boost. We have only 1 Bergere. We might switch this because these are great intercepts and for shields, and I mean they only have 8,000 power, but I'm willing to bet you can find something good in this deck to boost it with, and it'll give it just good offensive power, and it's a great defensive. There is our Chain Attack Sutherland. We wish we could run another one that we can run more of the other card to boost this. and I mean they're really strong, and they're good for your rear guards. I mean, really good. Now we run 2 Blazing Core Dragons, and this is so we can get more of the soul charge, and so we can superior ride Blazing Flare Dragon, because that card is just a beast when you can use it right. And also too, these are great for rear guards and as your 2nd grade Vanguard. These right here are definitely the buttes and some of the main things in this deck. If you have this card right here, you definitely want to consider using it. This card can attack your opponent's rear guards, and I'm talking about back rear guards. You know, those ones that are trying to hide and your opponent know they can't get away from it. This is Wyvern Strike Chohaz, and I'm saying these are great cards right here, especially against Royal Paladins. We run 2 Berserk Dragons once again for the getting rid of the rear guards, which this is definitely Kagero's is their main strength. They're really great because all you really have to do is counter blast and get rid of them, but don't use it too much. But there are cards though, like Elf, the embodiment of, I forgot what his name is. He is the final version of the embodiments, and he can flip all your cards back. We just need that tar. Need that tar, people. We have 3 Nihilums, which is just like the solitary, I mean not solitary, Knight of Silence Galatine. He's powerful, he's strong, and he's your ideal grade 2 rear guard. Can't beat him. This is Gojo right here. If I'm right, he's retired rear guard, right? Let me see, yeah, when the unit drive checks. Yeah, okay, if you get a grade 3 Kagero, then you automatically, while in your drive checking, you automatically get a retire one of your opponent's grade 1 or lower rear guards, which I think that's, once again, that's perfect. You gotta get rid of your opponent's, all their forms of power. Okay, now this is the card I was talking about, the embodiment of Victory Alf. Okay, I knew he was an embodiment. Now, this is a great card once tar is put into that, because when tar and everything else is put into there, he can turn all your damage face up. That means you can use your entire thing, and he has an ability to boost himself to high levels of strength, which you just gotta think that is the shit. Okay, we run 2 Draconic Overlords. One, because you know how powerful these guys are. They can take out rear guards, they can still keep going. Twin Drive is not that important when you got beefy power like this. You just keep bulldozing your opponent. And this is one of the main stars of the deck. This is Blazing Flare Dragon, and its special ability is he can retire a rear guard, which is a counterblast of, not counterblast, soul blast of 5. Now, his other ability though is to, I think, increase power. Here's the thing though, is you can continue, every time you drop one of your opponent's rear guards, he gains an extra 3,000 power or so, just like Young Pegasus Knight. And in a grade 3 with 10,000 power, that's way more of a devastating move. And last but not least, we run 2 great cards right here from the original set, which I think these cards are overlooked. We run 2 Vortex Dragons. Yes, 2. I know what you're thinking. It's not that, you think it's not that great, oh, it takes too long. Not really. These are very powerful dragons. Not to mention too, with the twin drive, and the fact is once you finally get there, using their soul charging, and when you finally get to 8, this deck right here has many ways of getting around that. Ways of getting to it quick, and you can retire 3 of your opponent's rear guards, which I think is one of the baddest abilities you can have in a game. And running 2 of them means you have a chance, and even if you want to, you can ride another Vortex on top of a Vortex. There's another one in there. So there's lots of ways that this deck can be very lethal. If you have any comments or suggestions for this deck, feel free. And if you have any cards that you think could help us, point us in the right direction, and we can get a hold of that person, or if you guys are willing to trade, we're looking to improve this deck. At this point though, it seems very strong. We do think we might have to make a few minor adjustments, just like the Royal Paladin. But other than that, I think this is a great deck, and it will be perfectly fine when running in the tournament. Just like I said though, if you guys have any suggestions, any questions, anything, feel free to ask, PM, comment, whatever. We are open to all suggestions, trades, play, pricing, whatever you feel like. Alright, this is JayandLugproductions signing off with a Kagero build.